Welcome, 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 everyone, back to the show. And today's conversation, we're diving into embracing your own spiritual, unique path because there's a million and one ways to create that for yourself. And I don't think that there's one right way to create that. And why I'm saying create, because I'm trying to take even away the goal orientation of. Like if we could take the goal orientation of I'm having a spiritual path because, maybe it is for serenity, maybe it is for enlightenment, maybe it is but everyone is going to have a different reason and purpose, and those can be unique too. So I'm really looking forward to the conversation. Welcome, Chantel, for joining me in on this conversation. So excited to have you on the show with me.
Yes, you know what I like about this topic is it really is giving us all permission to be us and to heal how we need to, or to practice or to create our own rituals or whatever it is that we want to do. It's combining it's having like the ability to combine all modalities and not feel like we are overstepping or we can't do it. Because if it calls to you, this is what I'm a firm believer on. If it calls to you and it's pulling on your heartstrings, it's meant for you to do it. Doesn't mean you have to go be this big leader of it, but it means for you and your personal right of choice, it gives you can go and do that work, you
Yeah.
know? So it's just whatever calls to us, I think, at this time, because this is a time of us, of awakening, of growth, of transformation. And however that shows up, give yourself permission to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like for my own personal journey, I feel like I've always been given breadcrumbs of like where that inspiration leads to next, right? And so I'm getting these little tiny breadcrumbs, and my job is to pay attention. My job is to get curious and lean into it. And so there might be like a breadcrumb of me, like I'll sign up for a retreat or something like that, and I'll be like, I have no idea why I'm going. Maybe it's because I'm supposed to meet someone. Maybe there's some lesson or learning I need to have. Maybe the land needs to speak to me. Maybe like there's so many possibilities. And when I say yes to whatever that experience is, I'm opening myself up to, okay, God, universe, creator, source, show me what I'm supposed to get out of this that's going to help continue me on my path. Right. And so if you come in with that open-mindedness, it's almost like the tarot card, the Fool, where it's like, I'm
Mm.
optimistically open to seeing whatever is there for me. And I'm going to follow it with an open heart and open mind and just almost this whimsical nature rather than having going, no, this is my past preconceptions, my past judgments, my past life. And therefore it needs to look this way, right? Like when we're so married to what it's supposed to be, there's not a lot of room for flexibility, flow, and alignment that's offered to us from a higher source.
Yeah, it's having that rigid thinking.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it's from past conditionings or society conditionings, but definitely like the Fool card. I love that example because it is entrusting in your journey and the universe and knowing that everything is coming forward with purpose and reason and growth for yourself. So when we're trusting in that, we know it and we're led by it because we're being intuitive and we're soul led versus being ego led. That is really when we can embrace all the things that are coming forward. Like you're saying, like, I'm just going to go to this retreat. You don't know why, but you get there. And whether it's the message or the people or the land that's calling to you, you're there for a reason and you receive it. And it's just so amazing. Like when we did our retreat a couple of weeks ago, just the land and how it spoke to us, right? Like each of us we were embracing the land in a different way, in our way, whether it was being in the home, whether it was being out in the teepee, whether it was being out like in the glamping tents by the creek. It didn't matter because we each were exactly where we needed to be. The bed
Yeah.
was made for us and we could go to it and the medicine was there. And so it's just that open opportunity for us to grow that way and to follow, to
Yeah.
be led,
To be led.
to
Right.
be
And I think
led.
that's it. I'm just like, I think that because we have a shamanic school, one might perceive that we have this one way that we need to do things. And I think forever and a day now, I've been saying, like, let's break the box, let's stop the conditioning, let's let's think what feels good to me. And that's how we're led forward of on my spiritual path on this journey. What is my soul calling forward? Right. And so I feel like we offer a lot of like the buffet table. This is what I tell our students. We're offering the buffet table of what the possibilities are for you to develop your own spiritual practices, rituals, and routines. And there's not a lot of judgment of like which one it works for you. Like if it works, do that. Right. And I just feel like if everyone just offered themselves the opportunity of not necessarily following that content creator or that specific book or whatever it may be that you're like, they have it figured out, I have to do it their way. I'm like, great, take the golden nuggets from whatever those opportunities are and that really are pulling on your heart forward and take those, but feel free to mix it up to make it uniquely yours.
I feel like that's like the old teachings that we're moving away from, where you have to follow the guru, you have to find your master. And we're in this new age of realizing we are the master, we are our own guru. And yes, we're teachers here and we're mentors here, but we don't want copycats. So it's bringing that buffet of information and knowledge and tradition and new ways of doing things that can connect with every mind and every body, right? And so that's what I feel that we provide here. And when we're talking about even the three of us, when we talk about shamanism or we work with it, we work with it even in our own individual way. And that's okay because that's what we're doing. We're not the same people. We're not the same energy. So we're going to bring forward our energy, our perspective, our way of doing it. And that is giving permission for everyone to do it their way within the scope of because there are things to honor within each modality. But when you can do that and then meld them together, that's just such a beautiful way of working through the world.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I think that's why, it feels good because like the way you practice and the way I practice and the way Isabel practices, where it's all different. And it's
Mhm.
not like we're trying to pressure one enough each other to do the same, nor are we doing that with our students. And I feel like I love watching both of you do it your way. I love watching myself do it my way. Right.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's so beautiful because then I can get really excited about what you're doing. And I'm like, ooh, how do we do that? Like, and sometimes I get it, like, I'm like, I try it and it feels really good. And the other times, like during our retreat, Chantel taught us all how to make these cute little money bowls. Well, literally, I burnt mine on the last, I think it was new moon was right after you guys left. And I literally almost burnt my house down.
Oh,
Like,
you had a lot of energy with it.
like it was like, oh, and there it goes. Like I have the money bowl, and literally I had my like
Lift
the
it up a little higher. I want to see what it. Oh my
like no,
gosh.
I mean like everything burned. The bay leaf burnt, the scroll burnt, the little orange peel burnt. Like, and I was so glad that I was told, like my spirit guides were like, move the curtain away,
Yeah.
move it away. And I went to bed and I woke up in the morning, I was like, holy fuck, I could have burnt the house down because I had a check in here, like that was supposed to be represented. Literally, the whole thing burnt down. And I've been meaning to share this with Chantel because I'm like, now what do I do with it? Because I
It's
was
a
just really,
restart.
what does that mean, Chantel?
It's burning away old conditions and old thought patterns of scarcity. That's how I feel that. And so now start a new one. But disclaimer, always watch your candles.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
go to bed.
I learned my lesson, right? Like I was like, I'm tired. It's just a tea tree, like, or a little tea light. Like, how could it possibly
No.
do any damage?
Candle work is so powerful because it's igniting your intention and it's burning away. That's what candle fire does, it's burning it away. So it's interesting because I made some we did bath salts at a DIY that I had. So we did bath salts, but then we created these little tea light intentional candles for your bath, right? So I took mine home, I put it inside a little glass container, and I should share this in the group, but I lit that, and it was sitting next to us. Dude, that thing burst in flame. It cracked the glass. I'm like, this is a tea light. And so my brother was there and he goes, did everyone's do that? He goes, you need to contact them. Mine was the only one that did that. But I was like, well, I think because the intentions I put in it, it was just breaking it away. And now they don't burn like that. So your next one should be easier.
And this is why we need each other, people.
It was burning through those cords, man, of thought and money and
I just couldn't believe it.
wow.
Yeah. Right. And I
I
think
love that.
and I
That's
feel
just
like
so crazy.
it is so crazy. And it just shows like I'm still open to learning. I'm still open to the practice. I'm still like doing the things. And I'm doing it from a place of curiosity. I didn't go, oh my God, I can't tell anybody because I'm embarrassed that my money bowl burnt to shit and my almost lit my house on fire. Like it was quite the opposite. I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. Let's get curious about that. I wonder what Chantel would have to say about this. Right.
Yes.
And so it's me as yeah, I've been doing I've been doing shamanic work for 15 years and I'm still saying I don't know everything and I can trust the people around me to give their beautiful insights and I get to feel into it and go, "Oh yeah, that makes sense to me." Or
Mhm.
fuck that. I don't that's not it. I'm not aligned with it. I'm going to let that go. And either way is okay. It's this complete permission to walk your own spiritual journey, your own spiritual path, however that looks like for you and to stay open-minded about it.
Yeah, 100%. And to know that everything that we're bringing forward within ourselves and for the, just even in your own collective groups, right? Because we're all mirrors of each other. So for our listeners, it's what do you have to share with your group of people, right? And what do they have to share for you? So it's even like kind of having a bartering system of like, what do you got? What do you do? What's your ritual? And but learning from each other. And so that's a great way to even enhance what you got going on. Like that, like money bowls, that's my go-to on abundance because I look at abundance in everything, right? Not just financial abundance, but abundance for everything, the collective for life. And I'll have to show you since we're on that topic. This is my candle for this week's 888 Lionsgate. So this is my green candle, and I'm going to be dressing this up in our ritual.
Wait,
And
but
so I
pause.
want to show you.
For those who can't see the video, this is like an 8-inch, one
Oh,
inch, 8 inch tall, 1 inch diameter, giant ass candle. Okay, now go.
giant ass green candle that I'm going to address with oils and botanicals and herbs. And we're going to set the intention for that. So, but I'm like, what am I going to do with it? And then I'm in the desert. I think I'm going to place it in the dirt and let it burn and let it just melt into the earth and let her do her magic too. Because I trust that that will go into the ley lines of the earth and it's going to reach far and wide. And I'm excited for that. So
I'm
part
excited
of
for
why
that.
I'm going to do a medicine wheel this week.
Yeah. So I love that. I love that there's if this is multifunctional, multifaceted in the fact that too we're asking the land herself to participate with us.
There's permission there,
Right.
right? That the energy feels like it's flowing and not like there's a block. So this morning when I was like thinking and meditating on our conversation, a lot of things came up, like our circadian rhythm. It is so important. Like we have been so lost from just our natural rhythm because of the way we operate in society. And so it is like being able to rise and fall with the sun, right? Like rise with the sunset. Start settling in when the sun sets, sun rises, sun sets. Being able to eat when our body needs to eat, being natural within our own rhythms, right? Not feeling like we have to eat 3 meals a day and 5 snacks or whatever's recommended, but to be within your own what your body's calling you to eat whatever diet that is, whatever time frame that is, if you're a faster, if you're not, if you have to get up and eat. And it really is, I'm just feeling into this whole thing of being the earth keepers. For us to be able to be an earth keeper, we have to be a physical keeper first, right? We have to be able to be in tune to our physical bodies and listen to our bodies and know what we need so that then we can give that to the earth. So then we become the example out there for our community. And I mean our personal communities, right? Our community here, but our personal communities, because then your friends start to go, hey, what are you doing different? Or what's going on? You feel lighter, you're more energetic, you're this, you're that. And it's because we're tuned into ourself. And it starts with getting back to, I feel like, the basics of what Earth has to offer us.
I love that. And I feel so much like my body has been really wonky lately. Like I move energy within my body all the time. Like I don't feel like I have any necessarily energetic blocks or stagnancy. Like I can easily move the energy through. I can easily move that kundalini rise, and I do my Reiki on a daily basis. Like I do the things, and my body is like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Mhm.
Right? And I'm like, no, I don't want another one. And I sometimes I'll display a bit of resistance to diving in inwardly. Like I can do the outwardly functions, I can do the meditation, I can do the rituals. And the other night I was just like, oh, I need to find a healer to like do a journey for me, or I need a shaman to kind of do the things. And my when I sat with it, and it was like, you know what? I need myself. I need to go take a freaking bath and do a shamanic journey for myself, and let whatever needs to come up, because every time I'm in that state of mind, I get the answers from within me. It's not the answers aren't external. and sometimes there's resistance to that. Like I know that when I go into spirit world, it's not going to be typical. Like it's never going to be like this soft easy journey. It's going to be like, all right, we're going to kick your ass just a little bit, we're going to show it to you real, and you're going to learn something. And so there's been many times in my life where I'm doing shamanic journeys all the time, and there's times in my life where I'm like, I don't want to. I'm like kicking and screaming, going, fine, fine, I'll do it. I'm going to do the thing. And I like set up my bath, and I put the essential oils in, I put the Epsom salts in, I set my intentions, I call in the directions, and I do the damn thing. I do the damn thing. And then I'm like, holy fuck, that was a lot. Right. And then,
But then how do you feel afterwards? Because you leaned in on your own medicine versus going to somebody else to do it for you,
right.
right?
Well, I think that's it. It's so empowering to go that, there a lot of the elements of the journey is like, do I surrender and let it all go, or do I need to get up and fucking fight? And
Mhm.
my body is tired. My body is tired. I'm tired. And the real message was like, when I try to lean in and rest and just surrender in the journey, it was not okay. It was like, no, wake the fuck up, grab your, like, call your power back, get your fucking wings on, take the lightning bolt, go rewrite your soul agreements, sign off on those freaking things. And like, like it's just so big. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like I come out of it, and there's so much in my life that I wish I could just let go of, or release, or those types of things. Whether it's my daughter, who's been having a lot of mental health issues, like it's been draining on me because I have been absorbing so much of her energy in a way of like motherly protection. Like her mental health has been so far down that like I had to like stand up, be her strength, and I did. I've been absorbing her energy, and not that I have like mental health issues because of that. I'm just drained. I'm just tired because I'm transmuting it for her so that she doesn't go in these really dark, bad places. And, the journey was like, don't lie down. Do not give into this. Like, it's time to fight. It's time to claim your power back, stand in your full power, and do the damn thing. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, and that's not always the case. Sometimes the answer is rest, relax. We got this, we got this taken care of for you. And my journey was very much like, nope. Like, take your tools, go use them, go rewrite your story, and claim your fucking power. And I'm like, okay, here we go. let's boss up, let's do the
Yeah.
damn
Yeah.
thing. And yeah, and it's like, how do you find that balance in real life of going, my body physically needs to rest, and I need to call my power back, and I need to be in my warrior energy right now. And because I'm claiming my power and stepping into that warrior energy, I'll always have enough.
You always have enough.
Always have
And
enough.
so there is the time and place for rest and rejuvenation. And then there is that time where we need to warrior up, and to protect your energy or to go out and fight and voice what needs to be said and done. For me this week, this is my 12-year, 12th anniversary since my son transitioned. And so last week I was supposed to come out with my husband, and then I was like, why am I going out a week before? I should be out here the week of, so I, have support and I can be out here. And so when I switched it up, it felt in alignment. And so I had to rearrange sessions and people and stuff. But I was like, it's all good. Like I need to take care of me too. And so it's like I'm here, and I'm happy that I am, because I get a different perspective just in where I'm at. And if I want to go walk the trails of the desert or whatever, I can. I mean, it's like 120 out here. I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be really hot, so I think I'll be in here for a minute. But it is really leaning into what we need and at what time and why. And so not everybody needs to know our story, but what they need to know is it's okay for all of us to give ourselves the permission to do what we need to do. And if that is calling a day off at work, if that is sitting your butt literally on the ground and crying and just being under a tree or whatever, communing with the earth, we can do that. If that is like being angry and feeling into those emotions, go be that too, right? But no, in the end, we have to come back to this place of center point so that we are in balance. But there are some emotions that we need to release. And when even in my grief group, when I'm sharing with them, because once a month at the beginning of the month, we always go out and walk the land. And so that was a big concept for them. They're like, what? We're in grief group. Why am I going to go hug a tree? Go hug a tree. Go hang out with, go walk it. Go walk the dirt. Go do your thing. Go feel into the breeze. And they always come back feeling more refreshed, and they enjoy it, but it's teaching them that this is part of the grieving process. This is part of the growth process, is we're thinking outside of our box, and we're actually taking our internal and making it external, right? And that's still working within our own power.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it so much because it's once again an invitation for you to do your own work, to go within, to tune into your energy in balance with nature, in harmony with nature, in alignment with nature. And there are so many different ways you can do that. And it's allowing your own intuition to open, it's allowing your own body to find its own nervous system regulation, because the earth herself can do all of those things. It's are we taking the time to say yes to it, right? And so this week I was teaching one of my clients how to do chakra spinning. Like she's very energetically aware, very spiritually awake, can get messages really easily. And I'm like, let me just teach you how to do this in our session, and 5-10 minutes, and then go try it. And it's so much of like, how can we do this in accordance with nature? How can we do this with the natural elements, whether it's water or fire, and really bring that practice forward into your body to help you release what needs to be released, wash away what needs to be washed away. And I love that there are so many practices that are available to us that's telling us to return to nature, right? And
Yeah.
even if you're living a very urban lifestyle, how do we return to nature? Could be as much as watching the sun rise above the skyline, even if the skyline is full of skyscrapers, right? Like it's still like this honoring of the natural elements in the world. And we always have access to the moon, the sun, the stars, the clouds, the rain, the potted plant. And so, I hear a lot of pushback when we tell people like return to nature, and they're like, oh, I live in the city. I'm like, find it anyway. Find it
Hmm.
anyway. And even if the nature isn't this external thing, what about the nature of within our own body systems? Like if you're a bleeding woman, how can you get in touch with your moon blood? If you're like, there's all these different ways of finding nature within ourselves and connecting it back into the earth, connecting it back into the sky. And I think there's this beautiful energy flow when you can not only move the energy from within you, and I think one of my favorite ways to do that is with the breath. I think with breath, with sound, with movement, and we're bringing the energy flow all the way through our body can be so potent. But what happens when you move it all the way into your earth star, that kind of chakra that lives below your root chakra, or bring it all the way up above your crown into your eighth energy field, into that luminous energy? And like, can you connect all nine rather than just the seven? So like there, I think there's always another step. There's always a little more. There's always more things to explore. The journey never ends. And I think that's why, too, I get a little discombobulated or fired up when someone's got the, here's your XYZ solution, or here's your 5 steps to, and I'm like, it's bullshit. Like, there's always more. I've been doing
There's
this for
always
over
more.
20 years.
Yeah. And we're moving into, well, we're reclaiming our 12 strand DNA, right? Our 12 chakras. And so as we're shifting more into that awareness, it actually shifts the perspective of a lot of things. And so my mind has, I've been exposed to this for several years now, but my mind's working towards it. But it's where we're going. And one of the things I was listening to today is about claiming our luminous body. That's what we're shifting into. And it was talking about how we need to reclaim and recreate a new story for humanity. Like the old story of everything we have been taught and known to believe in is it's drying out. It's getting old, right? It's not serving us anymore. And so now it's us being able to claim a new story for ourselves, as well as claiming a new story for the collective. And so when we start doing that, when we're not being put in those boxes of being rigid or thinking this is the truth, when we know there is so much more truth out there, right? It is being the truth seekers as well. And so there's so much that is happening in our planet that's happening within the shamanic realms, because the sages are stepping up even and saying, hey, yes, we need to be doing more of this. And if it's even going deep into the jungles to go find the medicine man, or to go do, plant medicine, if that's your calling, or to connect with yourself through your own energy, wherever you are, we're all being guided and led in different directions right now. And there's different callings on all of us, because I feel like there's just this radical like soul change that's happening on our planet right now. And so many people are stepping up to it. And it's funny because this weekend, Noe and I, we did a dream class. So the spiritual interpretation of what we're doing in our dreams, right? Like we have this very limited perspective of dreams, and that dreams is just us going to sleep and we're in la la land in our dreams. No, we're doing work. Our soul is doing work, our spirit's doing work, and this is what we're doing, but while our body rests. And during this class, it was like people were understanding that they are dream walkers. They're journeying, they're dream travelers, they're doing the work, and they didn't know what they were doing. They're just like, oh my gosh, I travel here, I go there, I'm doing, I'm cutting things, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, because you're doing the work in your dream state, which is your spiritual state. It's your spiritual body that is doing the work that you cannot do in your physical. So it's not really that we're dreaming, we're awakening in our dream state. And so when we can really tune into all of it, all the elements of self, it brings a bigger picture of what we're doing. And our human bodies, we're here to have this human experience on this earth. But I think there's just so much more that's awakening, that it's like it's time for us to see all the aspects of us.
Well, and it's curious too that maybe this is one of the first steps of that awakening process, is to awaken to the power of our dream state, because consciously we don't need to necessarily be on board with it. Like, it's going to happen regardless.
Exactly, 100%. Yep.
Right. So people are like shifting into this new energy of this awakening time. Like, I do feel like the veils are thinner, people are open to new things, people are committed to figuring out their traumas and going to therapy, and it's not so stigmatized anymore. Like if you even looked 20, 30 years ago and you said, yeah, I have a therapist, you'll be like, oh wow, like there was judgment there. And now it's like, if you don't have a therapist, if you don't have a life coach, if you don't have some type of spiritual practice, then what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
there's
Where are you?
right, like the whole, like even that shift to me is kind of amazing. People are so ready to do the work in some capacity. Maybe not
Yeah.
dive all the way in, but in some capacity, they're open to learning, to exploring, to being a better version of themselves and no longer be dictated by societal programming, right? So we're hitting a giant pause button on the programming and starting to get curious of why the programming is there. And then going, okay, well, what do I need to deprogram? How do I want to be my authentic version of who I am and not be so blindly led, right? And
Mhm.
one of that just, I'm open to this. I think one of the first steps could very well be the dream work, because our dream state is so much where the subconscious gets to reside, your super conscious gets to reside, but the conscious mind gets to relax, right?
Yeah.
It's sleeping, and the other parts of who we are get to come out and do whatever processing needs to be done, whether that's in the subconscious. Those are like the quote unquote little dreams. I'm just processing my day. I'm processing what traumas came up for me. I'm just processing. And then you have the quote unquote big dreams, which big dreams in the shamanic world are those with messages, with stories, with the work. They're doing the cord cutting, they're doing the soul walking. And so it's really interesting that when you are asleep, you have availability both these sides. You can have the little
Yeah.
dreams, you can have the big dreams, and both of them are doing work for you. Right. And so even if you're not having quote unquote the big dreams right now, knowing that your subconscious is doing the work. And I feel like that's happening across the board. Like you don't have to set any intentions for that. Like it will just happen. Right. And so when we start going, I want to play in the dream world and make this more intentional, it's so much easier to have those big dreams and to remember your dreams and to like get curious about what's going on there. And I know for myself, for many years, I couldn't remember my dreams. And I'm more and more recently, I'm remembering my dreams. I'm seeing what's being happening in them. And I feel like that is such a positive sign, like not even a positive path where it's just a positive sign. Like me remembering when I couldn't do that in the past is like, oh, there's stuff happening there. Cool.
Yes. Yeah. One of the aspects that we brought forward too was that when we are resonating with our lower frequencies, like our root, our fear, our anxiety, our stressors, not having enough, all of that, that's where we're doing most of our work is in our dream, right? Because here in the physical, we're feeling all of this angst, and then you go into your dream state and suddenly you feel like you're being chased by things, or you're, like there's not enough. You go to the cupboard's bare. Like it's all about interpretation and symbology, right? So whatever our dreams are showing up as, they're also showing you that those are the messages that are coming through. So if you're not a journeyer and you're not doing that kind of work, where like what we teach here with soul rising and stuff is to journey to the realms and to be able to connect with our spiritual teams and to receive those messages intentionally. When you're doing it in your dream state, whether even if for like sleepers who are still not aware of that, you're still doing that work, because ultimately you're that soul body. And so the work is being done for you. But if you're having those dreams at that a lower frequency, right? But then as you advance yourself more into the higher conscious and awareness, your dreams start to show that. It reflects back to where you are. So it's interesting because you might not remember the dream, but then later on you do. And that shows you the evolution of self. Like, why am I now remembering it? I used to be a really vivid dreamer. And then through when with Austin, it all stopped. And then I had to learn how to be a visual dreamer again. I had to learn how to be visual and just in general. And now, my whole work is visually in my third eye. Like I'm just a visual practitioner. And so in my dreams, I know I'm dreaming when I'm dreaming, but it doesn't always mean that I'm going to remember it. Like it's real fleeting when I wake up, and that's okay. But I'm aware of it in the moment, and I can say, okay, I'm aware of it. I know you're here and I know what I'm doing. But then when I wake up, if it's not meant to imprint, it doesn't. And
Yeah.
that's okay too. Right.
Right.
And
And
that's
some of
still
those are supposed to
connecting
like
to
just
that.
flow. They're just
Hmm.
flowing through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see it like seeing through the veil. I still feel that as a shamanistic like way of looking at who we are because it's taken in the whole body, all the realms, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and I feel like this is that piece of, your spiritual path can be very much, it's full bodied. It's all
Yeah.
of the chakras, right? It's not just one. And I think that's another thing that we really emphasize and focus here at Moon Rising. We're not just doing crown chakra work. We're not just doing third eye work. This is a full balanced embodiment. And to be able to go into these astral realms, we also need to be able to fully embody and ground ourselves in the mysteries of the earth and let her power support us. And I just can't emphasize that enough. Like when we are only focusing on these crown chakra areas and not the physicality of our body, the physicality of the earth, like first and foremost, it doesn't matter what your zodiac sign is, we're all earthlings. Like even if we are from some other celestial planes, we're in this lifetime, in this body, we're an earthling. And what are we doing to help support us in that journey?
I love that. The mysteries of the earth. Yes, embracing the mysteries of the earth, right? And what is it? And the other thing too is embracing when we are in, like not making it a taboo if like to say lower frequency, lower energy, all of that. We need to embrace that as well because those are all lessons for us. What are we working through? It's interesting because last week, I don't know what was up, but I had a lot of intrusive like thoughts, like, and I was like, okay, like I need to sit with this. What am I working on? What part or version of me has felt abandoned or isolated or not accepted or not included or whatever it was, right? And so I had to work through that for a few days last week. And then I realized as I'm coming, and there was like physical things that were coming with it. There was all kinds of stuff. Like I was like a hot mess for a few days, but still having to show up because life expects you. But I was like, what the heck is going on? And so Noe comes home for the weekend and he's just like, you good? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, and then I start realizing the time that's coming up for me, the grief that my body is already feeling, all this stuff, it's connecting to my mind, it's connecting to all this stuff. And I'm doing some real root chakra stuff, and I'm like, all right, I'm working through this. And so because I was able to just accept that and know I'm working through it, I was able to do it a lot faster. And if I would have sat in denial, if I would have like resisted it, right? If I would have sat in my regret or whatever, but I wasn't able to. I was able to actually just embody that part of myself. And it took me a minute. It did. And so know that this journey just doesn't end, right? And I had a woman in grief group with me that she's been there for several months and it's her husband's 5th year anniversary of being gone and she's just having a meltdown. And I said, yes, because our emotions, they cycle, right? It's not just because you grieved and you're done. No, that's anything we're going through. The universe is always going to cycle it back, right? That is the natural, it's the spiral, it's coming back to say, did you learn that? Do you still feel that? Is there still some residual energy, emotions that need to be released? Is the mind playing tricks on you, right? Because the ego, that's what it does. And that's really what mine was doing. It was just this constant like thought. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So do the work.
Do the work. And I think that's one of the reasons why I really love working with you and Isabel and yourself is because when we see the stuff that's showing up, we lean into it. And I had the same response to something that came up for me last week. Like there's this recognition of um am I suppressing my emotions? Am I honoring my emotions? Am I looking at my emotions? Am I getting curious about what's showing up for me and leaning into it rather than resisting it? Like, so there was a few days last week where I was a hot mess too. And it was just like, there's no pushing it down, shoving it away. It's like, no, why am I experiencing this? What is this supposed to try to teach me? What is my lesson here? How do I need to move this energy through so it doesn't get stuck somewhere in my body? And I just absolutely love the amount of willingness to do the work. When I see it in my students, I'm like, they're my star students. Like, it's like finding where those growth edges are and going, I wonder why that's the growth edge. I wonder why I start getting uncomfortable there. And if I push that, I'm going to go into feeling triggered. Like when we get to explore those growth edges, when we get to explore where things start to get uncomfortable and get curious about them. And it's absolutely okay if like the answer is no, I'm not crossing that line. Like that's a hard boundary for me. That's fine. But getting curious of why is the line there? Why is it the way it is? And oftentimes those lines are there to protect us and they're perfectly fine being there, but it's understanding yourself to such a deep level that you're okay with the exploration of, you're okay
Yeah.
with feeling into it all and accepting yourself for who you are and just leaning all the way in. So it's not you fully know yourself. And when you fully know yourself, you can present in your most authentic truth.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel though too is when as we become more empowered beings, people, right? When these things start, these emotions, experience, thoughts, whatever starts showing up, you almost can't ignore it,
Yeah.
right? Like we might want to suppress it. We might want to say, no, I'm not going to deal with that right now. But there's this inner knowing that nags you and says, no, you got to go deal with this, go handle it. And that's for everyone. That's how I think that's how it's the benchmarks of growth, right? We can see where we were, like I can see where I was before, where the fight was the fight, and I'm going to, suppress every emotion, everything I had. And when I would, eventually it would come up and it would be like a blowout versus me being authentic to me and handling it the way I need to handle it. Now, we're still going to have triggers in life, right? Because that's like our family. I was telling someone the other day, I go, you want to know how healed you are? Go hang out with your family. Go hang out with your family because you will find that every trigger in your world is going to show up when you're around your siblings and your parents or whoever in your family, because that's what they're here to do.
Right. Like we signed up for
That's
that
why
shit.
we signed up. That's our soul family is like when I'm over here feeling all in my everythings, right? And then I go to my family, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you just totally humbled me. And that's what we're here to be taught, and so I see it and I do witness those benchmarks in myself. So it's also giving yourself the permission to congratulate yourself when you see it.
Yeah.
When you know that it only took you 3 days to process some heavy emotions versus 3 weeks,
Right.
or that I was able to limit how much time I gave myself to do it. And in that time, I was able to do all of that I needed to do, but yet I didn't let it suck up my whole day or suck up, days of my time. And so I just embraced that.
Yeah.
And I am so on board with like setting timers on grieving, on being angry, on any of the heavy emotions, because it's okay to go back to it tomorrow. Like give yourself that time frame today, and if you still feel it tomorrow when you wake up, new day, new everything, new thing, and you still feel those emotions, okay, set it in again. It's like almost scheduling our emotional fits. We can do that. It's okay.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, absolutely. I think that's totally fine. I love it when we can get to a point where we can witness our emotions, honor our emotions, give time for our emotions, but it doesn't become all of what we are, and there's this language piece that drives me nuts in the English language. I am sad. Whereas in a lot of language, it will be like, I have sadness, right? Like I have sadness right now. It's not who I am. It's something that I'm taking on in this moment. And to recognize that in this moment you have it. You aren't it, you know? And so I just want to love on all of our listeners right now. Thank you so much for listening and really getting curious. Like, I think that's always the start of our spiritual path, begins with this open-minded curiosity, whether it's about our emotions, whether it's about different modalities, whether it's about what does this past trauma mean to me? What inspires me? What creative art do I want to do? Like, how does breath work? Like, whatever it is, like, I want to commend you for showing up and listening to your own curiosity of your own, like, what inspirations can I get out of not only listening for this hour, but what can I get out of my dream state? What can I get out of my own curiosity? And I think that it will always lead you. So I just want to invite you to come on over to our Facebook group, which is Shamanic Mystics Moon Rising. Let us know what you're getting curious about. What spiritual path are you on right now? What is showing up in your life for emotions? And knowing that it's all, like, I think that our group and our school is so much about leaning into that curiosity and really finding your own authentic voice, truth. It's so much about authenticity, and you're contained in this energy of love and support and guidance, and knowing that your internal voice is always going to be the most important. It doesn't matter what I say, what Chantel says, what Isabel says, or anyone else. You get to reflect it back to you every single time and going, is this true for me? And
Yes.
there's no judgment or rejection if you go, that doesn't resonate. I'm like, cool, then don't do it anymore. Do this, try this one instead. Keep getting curious until you find your thing.
And I'll have to say that if you have a teacher that's telling you their way is the only way and you have to walk their walk, you might need a new teacher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you might need to teach them a little bit of something. And that is, I am my own master of self. I get to listen to my discernment and my intuition and my inner voice. And you can, even praise them on what it is you're learning from them. But at the same time, always own yourself, because no one else knows you like you. No one's going to walk your walk, right? And even if you try to copy whoever you're learning from, you're never going to copy it identically. You're still going to have your own spin, your own medicine, your own energy in that. And so don't do that. Don't do that, because we spend so much time wasting our time trying to be or do something like somebody else, right? And then it doesn't work out. And then we have all kinds of regret and all these emotions. So be you, do you, because you're the best one to do it.
And we have a super exciting special announcement for today. So we're bringing on Isabel to join us for this last piece for today's Whispers of Wisdom, because we are now officially open for enrollment for our Soul Rising 4-month program. And I am so excited because it has transformed and supported so many of our students in finding their own unique spiritual path. Like, it was so supportive in that process that we want to share it with all of you as well. And I want to pass this over to Isabel, because she has been diving into the end of our last cohort, looking at all of our takeaways and highlights from our students and their testimonials of what they loved about our program. And so I just want to really have this heart open share from these are what some of our students have actually said about our program.
Yes, and I'm so excited because I know today you guys were talking about embracing your unique spiritual path, and I love that we have this container where, our students kind of speak for themselves, right? In that this is really a space where they have gotten to find their unique spiritual path. They've had this buffet table of options and this incredible support and their students walking along with them, and they've been able to look at it and say, where's my intuition calling me to? What tools are going to help me? And so I've been, at the end of our course, we offer everybody this opportunity to kind of reflect on everything that you've learned, from the shamanic journey work to the inner child healing to connecting with your guides and your intuition to the cord cutting and the Reiki and the elements and so much that they've learned and reflect back and look at, how far have you come? What's really changed? What helped you? Did you get what you wanted out of the program? And I've had kind of the honor of going through all of the reflections that all of our students have submitted and so many of them have said that it, exceeded their expectations and all of it. But one that really sticks out in my mind is we had a student who had been in this really deep grief cycle for about 4 years. And he was really incredibly well versed in his journey and in his feelings and in the philosophy of healing and what that means, and still was feeling stuck in it and like he was reliving it. And we have a video from him at the end of the course talking about how, because of the work that he did over the 4 months with us, he was able to process that grief, honor it, walk with it, and ultimately release it. And that is just such an incredibly touching testimonial to me, especially because I have a very dear relationship with this student, and being able to watch that journey was just so beautiful. And that full testimonial is on our website now, to go look at and enjoy and really witness this incredible human and the growth that they experienced and the healing that they experienced. And looking at these other testimonials that we have of, someone saying that they had never felt safe before in their life ever. And from their first shamanic journey, they found this really sacred, safe space within themselves that they could go to at any point, and that all of their self-worth and all of their healing and all of their abundance has come from that place of having safety for the first time. And it just really reminds me of how incredible this work is and how sacred the shamanic work and the Reiki work and the inner child work and all of it that we do in this course is, because it opens up people to having the safety, the sacred space to not only explore all of these tools and connect with their spiritual gifts and really come into connection with themselves, but also to release everything that's not theirs, everything that's not true, and really blossom and bloom from that, and seeing all of the people who have said that their lives have been changed and transformed by this. So if you want to see some of the stories that I'm referring to in even more depth and in their own words instead of mine, you can head over to our website. The link is down in the show notes, and you can see all of these amazing individuals that we're highlighting. Also over in our Moon Rising Shamanic Mystics Facebook group, we're doing a series of celebration posts to really celebrate the incredible work and transformation that all of our recent graduates have put in. So if you want to hear more about them and their stories, please do join us over in the Facebook group, where you can hear more about their experiences in the course and a little bit more about why we do what we do with Soul Rising.
Absolutely. And just for the nuts and bolts, we are speaking to our Shamanic Reiki 4-month program. That's a deep dive. It is a deep dive in healing and alignment and really finding that own unique spiritual path for you, and really able to put it in place for your everyday life. And Chantel actually was one of our students and did our program, and we loved her so much we had to keep her on. But I would love to hear, Chantel, like what was what do you want to share from the perspective of a student and then moving into where you're at now?
So much. So when I first started, as a student, if you remember, like my very first shamanic journey, and I was eaten by like an anaconda, and not knowing what that was all about, but learning that through the process, it was my rebirth. It was my death and rebirth cycle. And so once I really was able to embody that knowing of self, and that I was peeling back these layers, I was really supported by the both of you. I was supported by the ability to watch the coursework on my own time as well. And I was in a very busy schedule at the time, and come to class and be able to be supported within the group and with my co-students. And so I went through all the programs and then started doing my apprenticeship with you. But looking back at where I'm at now, having a full in-person business, as well as being, being a well, I was going to say co-student, but I'm not a student anymore, but to be
Facilitator.
working with, yeah, a facilitator with the both of you and to show up for our students to not only know where they're headed, but where they are, where they start, right? And so now as a facilitator, as a teacher here, I'm really able to bring forward the things that we teach and we embody and that we live through and grow through. And so I just love that platform for our students that they get to come wherever they are. They get to grow, they can heal, they can align themselves, they can do all the releasing, they can work at their own schedule, yet they're within a schedule that we create so that container is always there holding them. And we hold space for them so beautifully. And we co-collaborate behind the scenes with each other so that we can fully bring in that support system for them. So when we show up in class, we are ready to be fully embodied as your teacher, your mentor, bringing you through this process and teaching everything. And I just love how the students show up and where they evolve to. And listening to these testimonies, it's gold. It's gold. I
It
love it.
is. Well, and I love that. Like, I feel like the Soul Rising program, everyone's going to get exactly what they need,
Mm.
however they need to get in, whether that is from the live calls, whether that is from the workbooks, whether that is from the guided meditations, whether that's from the group chat, whether it's from the community, whether it's from the activating actions. Like, there are so many different ways and resources to step into the fullness of who you are and to really recognize this is what's working for me, and it might not look like anyone else's, and it can just be your unique spiritual development, your unique spiritual path, and you get to say yes to all of you, however that looks. And I love that there's that flexibility. Like, I see so many online programs that it's like, here's the 5 steps to spiritual enlightenment, and I'm like, bullshit, right? Because that doesn't exist. I think there's so many disappointed people out there who take these programs because they're not able to fully immerse themselves in the light and in the shadow, and looking at where's our where's our like inner childhood wounds, and where's our shadow work reside, and how does that highlight our path and our purpose, and how do we move through that energy. And like, it's all wrapped up in Soul Rising of going, you are exactly who you need to be. Like, you are divine in your purest nature. There's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing to fix. It's, we love and support all of you as you show up. And so people can have these big emotional processes throughout the program, and it's like, yeah, do the work. That's fantastic, we're here for it. And it's not something to be ashamed of or to make yourself small around. And I love that when I can get on a call with our students and I'm inviting them into movement or sound or whatever it may be, and they're like, all right, I'm going to get curious, I'm going to lean in, I'm going to do the thing and try it, even though this isn't my normal. And there's always this inherent permission to say, to lean in and feel something, and also to go, like, if there's a no there, if there's a boundary there and that's not your thing, it's totally okay. Like, there's always this space of flexibility and of going, where are you at and what's going to be supportive for you in this moment.
Yeah. And knowing that, we do have so many students who come to us and say, I've taken so many other programs and nothing has helped or nothing has transformed me this much. And that's not us saying it out of this like, hey, look what we've done place. It's really us coming from this understanding that true healing like that, true transformation like they walk away with happens when you don't need to be fixed. When you're not broken, when you don't have to heal, you get to choose to get curious and look at what's showing up in front of you and do the work to process the emotions and release the limiting beliefs and heal those wounds so that you can connect to your intuition, so that you have access to that voice that can then tell you, here's your next step. Here's what's right for you. Here's the 1 tool or the 5 tools or the 20 tools out of the 40 plus that we teach you in this program that are meant for you. And that for me is one of my favorite aspects of the course is the fact that, yeah, it's based in Reiki and it's based in shamanism and it's based in healing with nature and all of this, right? But what it really is an invitation to come as you are, to recognize yourself as already worthy, as already enough. And then from that place, can we process the emotions? Can we release the limiting beliefs? And can we create space within you so that you can go into yourself with the tools and techniques that we teach you and find your path forward, your unique path forward, one step at a time from there. And so on that buffet table of options that we give you over the course of 4 months, it's broken up into 4 modules, one for each direction. And across those 4 modules, we learn very deeply about the first 4 chakras, which is also our subconscious, it's our nervous system, it's our self-worth, it's our creativity, it's all of these places where we store most of our wounds, most of our traumas, most of our limiting beliefs. So we're looking at those places and opening them up to be witnessed, not to be judged, not to be shoved aside, not to say this part is less worthy or more worthy than this part, but to look at all of you. And in that witnessing, in the act of letting all of yourself come to the table, watching what naturally unfolds as we also learn how to understand the 3 shamanic realms and complete shamanic journeys to the upper, middle, and lower worlds to receive guidance and answers and connection to nature and the divine. When we are learning about how to connect with your power animal, with your spirit guide, with your highest self, with the elements of nature, when we're learning the basics of self-healing and getting your Reiki 1 attunement or reattunement if you've already got your Reiki 1, we're learning about the chakras, we're learning about how to alter and rewire and renegotiate our subconscious patterns. We're learning how to heal traumas and release limiting beliefs using spiritual coaching techniques and things taken from NLP and EFT and all of these modalities that can be so powerful if we know how to integrate them into our own personal lives. And we're also talking about how to connect with and heal your inner child and giving you activating actions for every single week so that you have something tangible that you can then take the theory, take the idea, take the energy that we're playing with that week and go apply it to your life. Go try the thing, go do the thing, and then say, did it work for me or did it not? Did I like this exercise or did I not? Knowing that whatever the answer is, it's okay because we have 40 plus techniques that we cover over these 4 months that you get to choose. This one resonates for me. This one helps me connect to myself more deeply. This one helps me release that anxiety or heal that wound or heal that trauma. Or this one made me feel more confident and empowered and it brought a piece of me back. And this one didn't. And that's okay because I now know that I can witness myself, I can accept myself, and I can claim my unique path forward with my cohort of 20 other students who are doing this work too and giving themselves and each other by proxy permission to show up as we are, to walk the walk, to get curious, to go through these 4 months and experience the transformation that is naturally going to happen because of the intention and the magic, and to use Chantel's word, the gold that this course was made from.
Right. And I think we have a lot of understanding that this is a deep dive, like this isn't surface level work. And so even when Chantel went through the program and her life was full, like I don't know what magic she had to make it all happen because she had a very full schedule and she was so committed. And there's people who come into the program where they have time restrictions or they have money restrictions or they have whatever other commitments they have in their life, but when they say yes to this program, the program meets them where they're at. And so we've had students who are like, I have no idea how I'm going to pay for this, but I feel the calling. I feel like I'm meant to be in this cohort. I'm meant to do this now. And I can meet their energy of like, well, then it's yes. Let's like feel into it. I have seen people come into our program who, because we are giving them the opportunity to move through this work, to move through that shadow, to move through those money limiting beliefs or whatever it may be, that they go around not only pay off the program early, but they go and like wipe out $50,000 of debt, that they go on to create successful businesses. That I've seen people who have their business not just double or quadruple, but like times 10. Like I really believe in the program and the container in which it's offered to meet you where you're at. If you feel the call, it's there for reason and purpose, and the divine is going to meet you in that. And so here's some of the nuts and bolts, some of the questions I get most often asked. Yes, we keep saying this is a 4-month program, but really it feels more like a 5-month container because we have a week off for Thanksgiving and 2 weeks off for winter break. The container is still contained, but we're not having calls those weeks. So you get to play a little catch up and not be distracted from your family obligations for the holidays, right? So that's important to us. We really want to meet our students where they're at, and we do that time and time again. So when it comes to the call schedule, we're going to meet you where you're at. We're going to give you a call schedule survey to tell me when you're available. And then I'm going to build the call schedule around everyone's availability. It is a Tetris problem that I get way into every single time we develop a new cohort, because it is so important to me that every single student be able to make at least one call a week. It's my commitment. We will create a call schedule that will work for you. So if you're worried about, am I going to be able to make the live calls? Yes, you will. You're going to tell me when you're available and I'm going to make it happen for you. Those calls are 2 hours in length and you can come to as many calls as you want, but we highly, highly recommend that you come to at least one call. Come to one, right? Other nuts and bolts questions that I get is, I'm trying to think, like, I think those are the big ones. It's like money, the call survey, the time commitment, and that because it is a deep dive, it is filling into that resistance. It is feeling into where those growth edges are. It's an invitation to lean in a sacred container to do the work. So this isn't something that's just going to be, oh, I checked that off my list, I'm good now. It's going to be like, you're going to feel all the way into it and know that like you're in the moment you sign up, like the moment, even before you sign up, things are going to come to the surface of going, wow, there's my resistance. There's my shadow. These are the things that I'm going to start getting curious about. And my life is already on a projection of transformation, because that is what the program is designed to do. There is spirit work already happening for those who are even getting the call, who is even getting interested. Things are starting to shift in order to bring you into alignment for your yes. So trust it.
Absolutely. And so, with all of that said, enrollment is now open, and we are so excited to step into another cycle of healing and transformation and connection with another round of students. So, classes officially start on September 21st, 2025. But as soon as you enroll, you'll get access to our orientation materials. So, this is things like our 2-hour metaphysical anatomy and physiology course. This is energetics of time and money. So, you can really start learning how to bend time, bend money, so that you have enough time to do this course. You have enough abundance to do this course, because you do. We just have to learn how to unlock that. And so we're going to teach that to you right from the start in orientation. And there's so much more in that module as well. So you'll get immediate access to it as soon as you enroll. So we'll put the link down in the show notes so you can go to the sales page, learn more about the nitty-gritty about what we teach you in the course. You can book a free call with us. So if you're not sure, or you have more questions, or you want to talk to an actual human instead of reading the webpage, you can do that. Book a call with us. We'd love to chat with you. And if Soul Rising isn't right for you, we'll tell you. We're not going to force you into this course. We're not just calling in everybody and everybody because we want you in the course. I mean, we do. But if it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you, and that's okay. But if you feel the call, if you're excited about this work, if anything that we've talked about over the last few minutes has sparked something in you, then at least book a call. Talk with us, ask your questions, connect with us, feel into our energy, see if this is right for you. And if it is, you can enroll on the sales page, get access to those orientation materials right away. And we are so excited to work with you.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm excited to work with you as well. And I know Chantel is, and we've got this team and we're here and we're ready. And we know that if that calling is there, we know that somewhere in your soul, you're ready as well. And so as we wrap up for today, I just want to say thank you for listening, for embracing your own unique spiritual path, of saying yes to wanting to know more about what that looks like, And may the whispers of wisdom awaken within you. Thanks, everyone.